Good morning, Modern Pioneer, and this short video, short is the intention here, to show you guys the stairs. So let me get out of the sun. What I'm going to be doing is putting a ship's ladder up there, and I'm leaving a little bit of overhang at the top right there to act as just a guardrail, which is going to be integrated into the stairs. So if you guys want to turn a project something like this into this, then you've come to the right place. So keep watching, and I hope this video helps you in your endeavors to become a modern pioneer. Let's get to it. Okay, so to start, this is one side of the stairs. I went ahead and cut the base at 20 degrees, and let me just start off by saying I'm getting all of this information, this design that I'm going to implement, from Pete Nelson on his YouTube channel. I will link that in the description down below in the comments with this video, because it's a really great video, and all I'm really going to be doing is following their instructions and making a few tweaks here and there, which I'll tell you guys, and then I'll also tell you, anything that me not being trained in this, or being new in this area, like maybe some obstacles I come across that you guys can avoid if you want to do a small project like this. So what we're doing a ship's ladder. So ship's ladder is just going to be two of these, one on each side, and then stairs with built-in handrails right here. So Pete Nelson, they said I think they're using like 2x12s. I went ahead and I'm using 2x14s because I just want to give more protection, I guess. You know what I mean? I want more surface area as you're walking up. So my stairs, the treads are going to be 2x6 inches, just to give a full foot placement pretty much going up there. And then right here I'm going to integrate a handrail inside. So I'm going to cut this out so you can, grip this as you're going up. So that's the idea. Here we are. I'm just putting it here, just seeing how this looks. Pete Nelson's instructions say it's best to angle these at 20 or 18 degrees. So I went ahead and I cut this at a 20-degree angle. And now to get the tread height, I'm gonna space them out a foot. So it's just gonna be 1, 2, and so forth. So that's what it's looking like. So here I'm angling, I'm putting the 20-degree base layer into the stairs. So I just got this marked at 20 degrees, cutting it right here. So with the warp of the board, I'm having that face outwards. Okay, here's where we are now. So after cutting my 20-degree angle on the board, my 2x14, I went ahead and placed it where I want it to be, and I'm taking my measurements as it's in place. Now this is a luxury I understand some might not have, but if ever I can do this, I always do it, because it just cuts out any mistakes or wrong thinking, or you carpenters, you know how it is. You just look at something and sometimes you can get it backwards. So like for this, I went ahead and notched out my cut here to get it flush to where I'm going to mount it. I took into account the decking overlap, but so that's where I stopped my cut. So it's going to be like that. Now I'm going to cut all of this out, and then I'm going to leave my handrail here. So that's, I'm using pencil, and then pencil on the faces, that's going to be permanent, and then permanent marker on the product that I'm going to be removing. So then from there, starting at the top, I went ahead and measured out my steps, my treads, and I like to just be as clear as possible. So I write tread, and then my tread is 1.5 inches thick. So what I did is from the top, very top of this deck board, I measured down 11 3/8. So that's the top of my tread, and then from there I measured 1.5 inches down. Now to do my next tread, all I did is measure from the top of the previous tread 11 3/8 down, and drew a line, and then 1.5 inches, and then from the top of that tread and so forth. And I went all the way down, all the way to the bottom. Now some of you guys may care about this, I really don't, but you know, it didn't measure out perfectly with the bottom of this, but I'm fine with that. I just added one more tread rather than having one very big step, and I'm okay with that, because that tread there is gonna act as like a safety, or you know, letting people know like, hey, you're, you know, about to take a step. So just so forth. So that's how I got it. Now let's start taking the router to these treads and get them into place. Okay, here we are. So I'm cutting out the slats for the treads. I'm going about 3/4 down in my groove, and the reason being is just I don't want to go too far, so I'm stopping short of halfway. So just almost there. So what I'm doing, and this isn't the best way, I know, I was going to make a jig and then just set this jig up and go through and just do each one very quickly. However, I don't have the correct bit. I need like a traveler, one that has like a bearing on the top, so that I can set my depth, and then I would trace the top with my router. I don't want to go to the store, I don't care, I'll make it work. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my saw and I'm cutting. Well, first off, I've got it all traced out. I cut a little piece to be like my model, and then I went ahead and cut it at a 20-degree angle at the back, because I want it to be flush. It's just my preference. So I'm setting it here, and then where I've already done my lines, and then I'm notching out my depth here. And so now once I got those lines, I take my saw and I'm cutting my top and lower line, and then I'm coming in with my router. What I'm doing is setting it at half depth, so I don't have so much product to come out. So I'm setting it at like maybe, you know, I don't know, 4/8 maybe, and then just taking a little bit more to go to the 3/4. So that's working pretty good. I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so everything's going really well. What I ended up doing is using a, what is this, 3/4 inch straight flute bit. Now to take out the majority, what I did just to do it all at once is I measured, I cut all my lines, and then I took all the same depth out at the same time, and then lowered it, and then took out the rest. What I found is the radius of the 3/4 inch is not the same radius on the 2x6s. So when I go and put this in, you'll see there's a gap right here at right there. Okay, so what I want to do to make that flush is I went and downsized the bit that I was using to 1/2 inch. So now I'm going to just take a little bit of median away at the front, and here I adjusted as I went along, so I left some room to just get it perfect, and I did that on down the road, the line. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just touch up the edge and see if we can get a better fit. Okay, now that one, those slats for the treads is done now. So what I'm gonna do, well, let me just show you. So it worked out using that 1/2 inch round bit. I was able to get that snugly into place and then level it off there at the front. Looks really nice. I'm pleased with it. So now to do the exact same thing on this one, I've flipped the boards accordingly. I got my 20 degrees at the bottom, and so the way these are gonna be like this, you know, and that one's gonna be like that. So these are the insides for both boards. So now all I'm gonna do, put them side by side. I'm gonna just trace my lines over here and then go down at my 20-degree angle. So let's do it. All right, so now I'm working on the integrated handrails. So what I'm doing is I took 1.5 inch hole saw bit right there, and then I started at the top. So I came in 1.5 inches because I want to make sure I leave enough healthy wood structurally just to support the handrail. And then I just did my hole saw. I used a random cup I had lying around to get my radius there on the edges, and then a hole saw, and I chose this length just at random. I did it based on what I thought could hold up best structurally, so that's why I did it. Just like, what I mean is, I was looking for knots along here, you know, because if this was bad wood and had a lot of knots here, I would have chosen a thicker handrail. But this is pretty good wood, so I'm gonna leave it and hope for the best. So I came down, hole saw, and then I just did my lines there, and then I'm doing the same all the way down, and the handrail is gonna start 3 feet up. So, and I just came up with the 3 foot up because anybody who can't reach that shouldn't be getting up there. I'm speaking of little ones who may find their way up there. So this is halfway through this one side, and so I'm gonna just keep pushing. So let's go. And here we have it. I was able to finish up those handrails. They turned out really nice, and all in all, just truth be told, I didn't make any mistakes. So I guess we will see, you know, how everything levels up once it's side by side. So I will hold what I just said. But anyway, it really looks nice. I'm really pleased with it. And yeah, so now I'm just gonna wait for it to dry and then turn it around and then spray the other side. Now what I'm doing is I'm gonna do the treads this color, this cedar color, and I already put that angle, that 20-degree angle on it. So I'm gonna cut those at probably about 3 feet a piece, and I'm probably gonna be short, but it is what it is. So if I am, I'll just go get more. Anyway, let's let this dry and then get back to it. And we're done. I just put on that coat this morning on the top, and it's already dried. So next step is going to be placing them in place. What I would like to do is get some type of rubber, I guess guard or something to mount on the end of this, because what I'm finding with my bridge, as it gets wet, the end that's resting on the other portion of the stairs, when that wet wood rubs against each other, it degrades one another, and so I need to fix that, and I believe the same would be for this. So I went to the store and I could not find anything that would meet my need. So I started thinking out of the box, and this is what I came up with. I found this in the cleaning section, squeegee mop head, and I got it for $18. So this is what I want. I want some thick rubber or something like that. I'm gonna drill like 2, maybe 3 holes in it, and should be enough. So once I take that off, I'll put half on one and then half on the other, and I'm gonna cut it in half down the middle. So, and then I got some skid tape that I'm gonna put on the steps. So I'm just trying to make it safe, you know. So that's the plan. Let's get to it. Okay, that's done. I had no problem at all. I took that strip off, and then I cut it just a little short, so I got about 1/4 inch or so on either side. And then I took a 1/4 inch drill bit. I drilled in just a hair just to put the face of that self-drilling screw under the surface of this strip, because I don't want that, you know, catching on the wood, messing it all up. So yeah, I would recommend this approach. So now let's put these in the treehouse. And I'm done. All in all, I'm satisfied with how it turned out. I ended up changing a couple things along the way, mainly anchoring the bottom with these 90-degree brackets. Maybe you can see better over here. I did that really just for stability, and I didn't want this bridge to shake as much. So, you know, I was trying to cut down on the friction between the two moving parts. So also right here I ended up putting just some flat tires, just solid flat tires that I got at Tractor Supply here, and I ran them through here to get a good just gap barrier between the frame and the ladder. So let's see what it looks like from the top. Yep. Turned out pretty well. I can't really think of any tips or tricks to share with you guys. I put it at a 20-degree angle from the top down, and then those stairs, the treads matched. You can see right there the barrier that puts there, so when this moves, if at all, or the bridge moves, it's not gonna, you know, do a whole lot of damage, if any. So here, and I covered it up with that decking right here. So cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and just stay tuned for, I think I'm on part 3 of this treehouse build. So now I'm going to be working on the decking and the railing. So that's going to be in part 3. I wanted to do this just short little video about the ship's ladder, just you know, just to make it solely about that ladder. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and just stay tuned for the rest of the build. Be safe.